Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. What a beautiful day it will be today. Thank you for joining me. This is the pre-show mantra before we get started on these charts and on this breaking news. This is the show that will give you pre-market levels. We will give you the opening bell. We'll give you breaking news and a lot of other stuff. But first, let's get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to be wealthy. I deserve to be free. The more you learn, the more you earn. Thereby, the more you learn, the more you earn. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I am confident in my abilities to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I am more than capable of operating this machine. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Let's get started, y'all. Okay, so the first company that we're starting out with for these pre-market levels is going to be NVDA. NVDA pre-market low 184, currently at 185, pre-market high 186. Apple pre-market low 276, and the pre-market high is 277.77. Current pre-market price is 277.55. Google pre-market low 314.60, and the pre-market high is 317.95. Currently 315.97. Microsoft is down in the pre-market with a pre-market low. Let me move my level down because it's gotten lower since the last time I put this level on here. Pre-market low of 483 with a pre-market high of 493.25. Currently 483.30. Amazon pre-market low 227.50 with a pre-market high of 229.79, and it's currently 229.40. Tesla pre-market low 446.31, pre-market high 448.93 with a current pre-market price of 447.35. Meta just had a big candle here at 6 o'clock. Let me move my pre-market levels. This is a huge price inflection. So the bottom of this pre-market candle is 645, and the top of this candle is 663. So the price just moved a lot on this candle, but now it's currently sitting at 652, so basically right in the middle. The VIX is at 1738, so it's over 17 again. SPY 683.91, pre-market high with a pre-market low of 681.70 and the current price of 682.66. QQQ with a pre-market low of 623.10, a pre-market high of 625.90, and a current price of 624.30. AVGO with a pre-market high of 407.77 and a pre-market low of 404.51 with a current price very close to that, 404.60. TSM with a pre-market high of 306.27 and a pre-market low of 304.08 and a current pre-market price of 305.50. BRK.B with a pre-market high of 492.02 and a pre-market low of 490.85 and a current price of 491.60. Oh, looks like Berkshire made an all-time high a couple of days ago. Oh, excuse me, I haven't. Oh yeah, because remember I wasn't tracking Berkshire. But since the last time I put all-time high on this Berkshire chart, it was around 490. But right now it's at 516. So let me move that up there. Okay, so now I have the all-time high correct again. So, you know, you got to make adjustments when it comes to these charts. Because things are always changing. And that's the great thing about the stock market. It's always something new to learn. And you always continue to learn. And you just become a better investor and trader the more that you learn. So the more you learn, the more you earn. And you never get bored. Like, if I was retired right now, I could do the same thing. Because there's always something going on in the market. It's always earnings 4 times a year. It's always Fed announcements. It's always all these announcements that move the market either way. Speaking of announcements, let's check out Forex Factory. So we do have the federal funds rate at 11 a.m. with the FOMC statement at the same time, and then the FOMC conference at 11:30. So Jerome Powell is going to announce whether or not we're going to do rate cuts at 11 o'clock today. Most people think that we are going to get a 0.25% rate cut. And it might be baked in already because we've been looking forward to this cut. And yeah, it might be baked in, so the market might not even move a lot. But we still got to check it out anyway. So another thing that we're going to be looking for is, okay, he's going to announce the rate cut percentage, if we have one, at 11 o'clock. But we got to look forward to the conference at 11:30 when they get to ask him all those questions. Like, do you think it's going to be another rate cut in January? So I think that's going to be a very important question. So if he says yes, then I think the market can run off that news. But if he's like, man, I don't know, then yeah, the market might drop. But we'll see. Okay, so when it comes to this stream, I like to track the $1 trillion companies and also SPY and QQQ. So let's check out these $1 trillion companies. Let's check out the market caps. And we'll see. Number 1, NVDA, 4.5 trillion. Apple, 4.1 trillion. Google, 3.8 trillion. Microsoft, 3.6 trillion. Amazon, 2.4 trillion. Broadcom, 1.9 trillion. Facebook, Meta, 1.6 trillion. TSMC, 1.5 trillion. Tesla, 1.4 trillion. And BRK.B, 1 trillion. So those are all the $1 trillion companies on the market. And those are the companies that we like to talk about every day on this show. Okay, let's get into some news. So this news comes from Twitter from Yahoo Finance. And it reports that 19 U.S. states and 49 cities/counties will raise the minimum wage starting January 1st, 2026, impacting millions of low-wage workers with increases to $15 an hour plus in areas like Arizona, where it will be $15.15, and New York City, where it will be $17. The economic context is these hikes provide modest relief against inflation, but won't achieve full living wages, according to the National Employment Law Project analyst Janet Lathrop, who notes they advance broader goals for benefits and job quality. The public reaction. Early replies reflect polarization, with one user praising the changes under the current administration and another citing risks of higher consumer prices, highlighting ongoing debates on wage policy effects. Well, my take is, if you would just pay everybody a living wage where they don't have to work two jobs, then the country would be way better. Like, it will be less crime, and people will have better lives. It will be less stress on the citizens because they wouldn't have to work two jobs. And I think everybody's quality of life would be way better if they would just pay a living wage. If everybody that worked a full-time job was able to afford even just a studio apartment in that city, then everybody's life will be better. And we'll have less crime. And isn't that what we want as citizens of the nation? All right, next piece of news is this 50-year mortgage. This is from MarketWatch. A 50-year mortgage won't make housing cheaper and could even wreck your retirement. So, this is aimed at easing affordability amid double mortgage rates and median first-time home buyer age of 40 years old, which has gone up drastically from when housing prices were cheaper. So the key drawback to a 50-year mortgage is monthly payments drop only modestly, barely anything is what I would say. $72 less per $100,000 loan at a 6.2% interest rate. So 20 more years on the mortgage just to save $72 is definitely not worth it. And it's utterly ridiculous. I can't believe that they would even bring that to the public. And it says, borrowers pay far more in total interest and build equity more slowly, risking retirement insecurity if home prices fall. The broader context. Experts urge it inflates home prices by boosting demand without addressing supply shortages, benefiting sellers over young buyers. Alternatives like adjustable rate mortgages or policy-driven supply increases are seen as even more effective. I did have another piece of news as far as the home buyer. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it was about tiny homes. So this piece of news is from Investopedia. It says tiny homes promise financial freedom starting at $30K, but zoning rules and hidden costs complicate that math. Here's who can benefit most. So they're examining tiny home financial viability, promoting them as affordable alternatives starting at $30K, while cautioning against overlooked zoning restrictions, and extra costs like land and utilities. So the key benefits include up to 85% lower housing expenses than the 364,000 average U.S. home, and 80% reduced energy usage, enabling monthly costs under $200 for owners embracing minimalism. Tiny homes suit singles, small families, retirees, and eco-conscious individuals best, with surging interest tied to rising rents through depreciation and limited financing options hinder resale and scalability. So I would definitely buy a tiny home. I wouldn't buy like the smallest one, but I would buy one. I've seen some very nice ones online. I would buy one. But the thing is, you got to find the land and you got to hook up like the sewage and the water. So that's definitely going to be extra. So it's not like you just, if you got 30 bands, you could just get a tiny home and you get money. Nah, we got to find out how much it's going to cost for the land, how much it's going to cost to hook up all the sewage, and how much it's going to cost to hook up the water. And then let's see the real price. But if it is around 100 bands, then I definitely think that's worth it. But of course, depending on your location, that cost of land is going to vary widely. Okay, so Market Mondays was on Monday, and they had one point that I wanted to bring up.
What do you think the biggest investing mistake of the year was?
For me, it was two things. Number one, anyone who missed out on that April run, I don't know if you're ever going to have a better opportunity. Like when I go back and look, because that Friday I did a Good Day New York, shout to them, and they were like, which stocks were bad to invest in? I'm like, all the qualities were great buys at that time. For the first time in a long, maybe since COVID, did you have such a chance to almost have a guaranteed win? So I think any capital that you did not deploy in April when we were screaming to buy is probably the biggest mistake of the year.
I have that exact thing in my notes. It said not taking advantage of the downtrends. I started in January though, when people felt, oh my gosh, what is happening? NVIDIA is not real. Here comes DeepSeek. It's not real. The whole AI thing isn't real. And we saw all of these companies drop. That was the first one. Then April got compounded with the quote unquote Liberation Day. And then we had a class, and it was like, it goes back to the original question of like, stick to the plan. Because I remember in April we had the class, I'm like, look, let's just stick to the plan, right? Let's find some indexes to invest in. Let's find some ETFs to invest in, and let's build from there, right? Those indexes and those ETFs are up 200, 300% right now.
Easily.
Just because it was like, we know what the plan is. Oh, the moment has happened, implement the plan. Let's watch it happen. Those are up 300%. And then you got the companies that were inside those ETFs that were going to lead it, the AMDs of the world, the NVIDIAs of the world, Microns of the world. And so now you got the ETF running and you got the individual equities. Yeah. I actually did a leverage ETF. Was the first time I did that in a semiconductors because I believed in the space so much. That's up over 900%.
Ooh, 900%. Goodness. Salute, Troy, on that. Man. So I did actually get into the same leverage ETF that Troy is talking about, but I just didn't I didn't buy an option on it. I actually bought shares, and they did well. I sold them early, but I did double my money, but I definitely sold them early. Oh, market open, 6:30. Let's go. Market is open. December 10th, 2025. Market is open. Let's go. Where we at? NVIDIA 185.33. Oh, let me put on a 1 minute chart so you can see the movement. All right, NVIDIA 186.05. Apple 277.55. Google 316.42. Microsoft 483. Amazon 229.33. Tesla 444.96. Meta 654. The VIX is at 1743. SPY 682.44. QQQ 623.73. AVGO back over 400. 402.56. TSM back over 300. 303.77. And BRK.B 489.14. Let's check out some of our other sectors. Let's see how the sectors are doing so far. XLK, a little bit of red on the day. XLY, a little bit of green on the day. XLC is about break even. XLF about break even. XLV, a little green on the day. XLP, a little green on the day. XLE about break even. XLU about break even. XLI up over 0.5%. XLRE, a little bit of green on the day. Okay, the $1 trillion companies are the one that we like to look at the most. But let's check out some of the others. AMD is down over 0.5% at 220.22. Bitcoin 92,000 right now. iBit is down a little over 1% at 52.23. Ethereum 3,330. BMNR is down a little over 1% at 38.71. Palantir is up over 1% at 184. Hood is down a little over 1% at 134.15. Grab is down a little over 0.5% at 512. And our new ETF that I'm watching is XLG. Check out those holdings if you want to find out why we love it. All right, let's check out the Fear and Greed Index. So we do have the Fed speaking today, so it might be a little bit more fear. Yeah, we got a little bit more fear from yesterday. Because, you know, I think it's actually going to be low volume because people are just waiting to see what's going on with the Fed. And then after the Fed speaks and we get the market reaction, then a lot of people is going to jump into the market. But it's probably going to be low volume on the market until then. Okay, so let me put all 8 stocks on the screen. And one thing that I'm adding to the show, so you know I've been having the Twitter news, but one thing I'm adding is Instagram. So,
but you're going to participate and they look at you like you crazy. Go to Mexico, try to do that. Go to Japan, go to China. You can't.
Oh, let me start that over. My bad, y'all.
In America, you can say black people dominate 2 things, sports and entertainment.
Right.
All right, that would be a good thing if we had some level of ownership. We don't have one black owner in the NBA. We don't have one black majority owner in the NFL. There's not one major record label that's owned by a black person. It's all subsidiaries. They play that game with you. They let one person get rich, but there's no real ownership. You can't control what you don't own. You learn that in the basics. You can't control what you don't own. So if you say something that's against what they don't like, they'll shut you down. But they'll let you say whatever you want against black people because you don't have any control. You don't have any ownership. So even us celebrating like, yo, we changed our life. Even that is like, it's a half-hearted celebration because we don't have any ownership. We don't have any real control. We don't have any real equity in the 2 things that we dominate. That's a problem. And they tell you BET is owned by white people. And it's called Black Entertainment Television. And they'll tell you your ownership don't matter. There'll never be a group of people ever in the history of the world where they'll tell that to, except for black people, and black people believe that shit. Go to Saudi Arabia, appropriate their culture, do a camel thing, and say, yo, you're not gonna own anything, but you're going to participate, and they look at you like you crazy. Go to Mexico, try to do that. Go to Japan, go to China. You can't even own, I went to China. You can't own property if you're not Chinese in the country. Like, we so comfortable not owning anything. Like, we go everywhere, whether it's whatever the festival and all that shit, and we just happy to be here. We happy to support. We don't got no equity. We don't got no control. You can't control what you don't own. That's just 101.
That's why we had to change that, Jim.
I'm with you. That's why I went independent my whole career.
In America, you...
Hey, Rashad kicking some truth right there, boy. That's Rashad from Earn Your Leisure. Him and Troy sat down with Jim Jones. I do got to check out that whole interview, because if he dropping fire like that, yeah, I definitely want to give more context and hear the rest of that interview. Shout out to Rashad and Troy, and brothers from Earn Your Leisure. You definitely get a lot of game from them. I definitely been learning from them and soaking up knowledge ever since they came out in 2020. You know what I mean? And if you're not up on Earn Your Leisure, you should definitely check out their YouTube, check out their Instagram, and get some more of them gems. So there was actually another clip from Instagram that I wanted to play here, and it was from a more recent. Well, both of those are actually new, but here's the other one.
How much in total do you pay tax?
Probably 50%.
Isn't that stupid?
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, you're paying half your money. So you're working 6 months of the year for free. For what? No safety, no amazing education, no proper healthcare, and no lifestyle. Why are you doing that? You have a tree. You can move. And Daniel moved because that's the talk I gave him. Like, why are you staying there? Why be somewhere you are tolerated when you can be celebrated? Why are you wasting so much energy being worried about all this nonsense that you can not worry about anymore? Race issues and taxes and safety and so on, so when you can just have all the energy back in you and then you can just perform. Because the level of hustle you have is phenomenal. Imagine that hustle, but with no restrictions. Imagine the level of growth you're gonna have in a much shorter span of time. How much in total do you pay tax?
Yeah, I definitely want to check out that interview as well. The Earn Your Leisure brothers, they went to Dubai, and they were soaking up knowledge from him. I actually seen it. I actually listened to it yesterday, as a matter of fact. It was a great interview. It was a lot shorter than their usual interviews, but it was probably like 30 minutes. That brother is a multi-millionaire. He owns the biggest water parks around the world. The biggest one, and he's going to make it bigger. And yeah, man. They was dropping some knowledge, dropping some gems up in there, so definitely that's something you want to check out. Okay, let's check out the heat map. Heat map. Where is the market? Running to, and which stocks are running away? Microsoft down over 2.5%. Meta down over 1%. Palantir up 2.5%. Amazon up 1.5%. Apple about break even. Not much movement. Outside of that, Exxon Mobil down almost 1%. Chevron up a little over 1%. T-Mobile down 0.5%. Yeah, why is Microsoft selling off like that? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if TradingView can tell us. Microsoft plans a $17.5 billion investment in India's cloud and AI infrastructure over 4 years, enhancing capacity and AI integration following a $3 billion commitment earlier this year. Analysts expect Microsoft's stock to rise 15% beyond its all-time highs, contributing to a trend where major tech stocks boost the S&P 500 amid recent market shifts. Microsoft's Copilot AI platform boasts a 76% adoption rate, far surpassing Salesforce's Agent Force AI at 7%, indicating robust demand for Microsoft AI tools. Okay, so those all sound very bullish. So I don't know. That's not the news that made Microsoft fall 2.5% today. So, but that's definitely good news. Oh, and look, it looks like we closed this gap. We had a gap on Microsoft here from the other day, and well, it's actually not closed because if you look closer, we don't consider it closed from the pre-market, only when the market is open. So if you look right here, 484.25 to 484.39. So it still has about 14 cents before it's closed. So what I like to do in that case is move this up here. So now that's the gap now. It's smaller, but it's still a little baby gap, which is not much. But if you want to be precise, then that's what you can do. Okay. We'll wait for 15 minutes after market open before we check that out. So let's get back to some more news. Palantir stock gains. It torpedoes rivals to win this new AI contract. Palantir secured a $448 million U.S. Navy contract for Ship OS, an AI platform to optimize nuclear submarine supply chains, shipbuilding efficiency, and real-time risk management across 4 public shipyards and key suppliers. The announcement drove Palantir stock up 1.36% in the pre-market trading to $184.31 today, highlighting investor optimism about its edge over competitors in defense AI contracts. Ship OS pilots have already cut submarine schedule planning from 160 manual hours to under 10 minutes. Wow, that's incredible. From 160 manual hours to under 10 minutes. Oh yeah. You talk about AI taking jobs because of efficiency. There's another example. Demonstrating Palantir's potential to rebuild the U.S. maritime industrial capacity in the AI era. This next news is from SpaceX. SpaceX confirms a successful orbital deployment of 27 Starlink V2 mini satellites from the Starlink's 1511 mission, launched via Falcon 9 from Vandenberg Space Force Base earlier today. And then there's this 18-second video that you can check out, which shows videos and photos of the satellite stack separating in low Earth orbit, with sunlight illuminating from the dispersal against Earth's curved horizon, showcasing precise engineering. This launch represents SpaceX's 118th Falcon 9 mission of 2025, elevating the year's Starlink deployment to 3,039 satellites, over 1,000 more than all of them from 2024 combined. Okay, so another thing that I want to add to the show is real-time level up algo in different time frames, so we can see if we can find a trade. So in this case, we have 4 time frames. We have the 10-minute time frame, the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, and a daily time frame. So the 10-minute gave a strong buy. So if you're a day trader, you could get into Amazon right now to the upside. The target is 233. And then on the 1 hour, there was a strong buy yesterday at 7 o'clock. And had you got into that trade, the entry point would have been 228.25. And it hit TP1 at 229, and it also hit 231 for TP2. TP3 is 232.50. Then if we check out the 4 hour, there is a strong buy on the 4 hour, but the candle has not closed yet, so we have to wait for the candle to close. That candle is going to close at 9 o'clock, and that will give us the entry. So I'm going to have to check back on Amazon at 9 o'clock for the 4 hour strong buy indicator. Shout out to Amazon. It's looking good. Okay, let's check out NVDA. On the 10-minute, NVIDIA is in a sell with the entry point at 184.50, but the current price is 184.91. It does have a stop loss at 185.48. So if this candle ends up closing over 185.48, then that sell is going to flip into a buy. On the 1 hour, NVIDIA got a sell in yesterday's pre-market, but on the 4 hour, it's still in a buy. Apple got a buy in the pre-market. But you know, when it moves up, when it hits all three take profits, then it gives you another entry point. So right now, I think it's gonna wait for this candle to close before it locks in this next entry point to the upside. And then we look at the 1 hour, Apple has a buy. Oh, it just went away. So you gotta wait for that candle to close. On the 4 hour, Apple got a strong sell last Thursday, and it did end up hitting TP1. It does have a bull wick on the daily. Excuse me. All right, Google got a strong buy on the 10-minute with the entry at 316.69 with the take profit at 318.70. It also on the 1 hour it had a buy yesterday with an entry point at 317.53, but it did hit the stop loss at 314. Microsoft had a sell in the pre-market on the 10-minute with the entry of 478.97. It did have a sell on the 1 hour in the pre-market with the entry point of 487.44. It did hit TP1 and TP2. All right, let's check out some more news. This is from CNBC. Refinance demand for FHA loans jumped 24% as homeowners seek the most savings they can. FHA refinance applications surged 24% week over week as rates fell to 6.08%, the lowest since September 2024, allowing homeowners to save on payments despite requiring mortgage insurance premiums. Total refinance share hit 58.2% of all mortgage applications, up from 53%, with year-over-year volume 88% higher, signaling heightened rate sensitivity amid conventional loans steady at 6.33%. MBA economist Joel Kahn highlights a 5% rise in FHA purchase applications, aiding lower down payment buyers, while overall purchases fell 2% weekly, but remained 19% above last year. I think we got a few more pieces of news, and then we are done for the day. Uber is rolling out kiosks for travelers to book ride shares without using the mobile app. Uber is pitching the service as a convenience for international travelers who do not have a data plan. Uber's new airport kiosks enable ride bookings without the app, targeting international travelers lacking data plans, with the first installation at LaGuardia Terminal C and plans for expansion to hotels and ports. As you can see, it looks like a kiosk, basically a huge iPad, displaying the rideshare options like Uber X for $31 or Uber Black for $82, integrated with a card reader for seamless payment. By solving connectivity barriers for 10 to 20% of travelers who avoid mobile data abroad. This innovation could capture untapped airport demand and boost Uber's holiday season bookings amid rising global tourism. So this video is a 60-minute video of non-stop package sorting by humanoid robots. They're doing boxes and they're doing soft packages as well. So when it comes to AI and robots taking jobs, yes, it's happening. So we must invest in the market. We must invest in these AI companies and in these robotic companies, because at least we'll be able to make some money while they take our jobs. And the last piece of news for today is around PayPal and the NFL. PayPal is finalizing a multi-year deal to become the NFL's inaugural peer-to-peer banking sponsor, succeeding Visa's expiring rights ending March 31st, 2026, which previously included banking and credit card categories, now split with US Bank and American Express. This sponsorship builds on PayPal's sports portfolio, including NIL payment processing for Big Ten and Big 12 conferences since June 2025, potentially extending Venmo's integration to NFL fans and college athletes for seamless transactions. Investors react positively, citing the deal as a growth catalyst for PayPal's undervalued stock at 12-time earnings. Alongside recent partnership with Google, OpenAI, and Liverpool FC to expand digital payment adoption. All right, let's check out the heat map one more time before we go. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Hopefully this gave you some knowledge about what's going on today in the market and some breaking news. So AVGO down over 1%, Microsoft down over 2%, Meta down 1%, Amazon up 1.8%. Google about break even. Tesla about break even. Chevron up over 1%. T-Mobile down almost 1%. QCOM up over 1%. Intel down almost 2%. Lam Research down 1.5%. All right, let's just give a quick rundown. Let's do the sectors and then we'll do the companies and we're done. XLK down over 0.5% at 147.15. XLY up 0.5% at 118.60. XLC up a little bit, 116.62. XLF up a little bit, 53.43. XLV up a little over 0.5% at 150.84. XLP up almost 0.5% at 78.35. XLE up a little bit at 45.76. XLU down almost 0.5% at 42.58. XLI up almost 1% at 154.40. And XLRE up almost 0.5% at 40.70. The VIX is at 1721. It's up 1.5%, probably because Powell's about to speak at 11. So SPY, it's almost at break even, but a little negative. QQQ is almost 0.5% down at 622.70. Apple is almost a little over break even at 277. Amazon over 1.5% at 231. Google down a little bit at 316. Meta down almost 1% at 650. Microsoft down 2.4% at 480. NVDA is down almost 0.5% at 184. Tesla is down a little bit at 444. AMD is down over 0.5% at 220. Bitcoin is down 1% at 91,000. IBIT is down 1.5% at $52. Ethereum is down a little bit at 3,300. BMNR is down almost 0.5% at $39. Palantir is up almost 1% at 183. Hood is down almost 1% at 134.73. Grab is down almost 1% at $5.10. And XLG is down a little bit at 59.43. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Thank y'all for tuning in today. I'm going to leave y'all with a song sponsored by Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. So hopefully y'all enjoyed these instrumentals that I created specifically for the show. Let me know if they were slapping. And let me find the song. Let's see. Oh yeah, I really like this one.
Hey, we print money now. Let's go. We ain't waiting on a check. We created. Turn my last name to an asset upgraded. Took the blueprint, now I renovated. They sleeping on me, but I stayed motivated. Came from the bottom, now I'm talking stock plays. No more limits, we investing like it's all day. Turn 100 to 1,000, let it parlay. Wall Street look like us, yeah, that's all made. Generational wealth, it's a new wave. Money making moves when I vacate. I don't chase checks, stay on replay. Bossed up, leveled up, no delay. I don't clock it, I just check my charts. Broke them chains, now we playing this smart. Fit that mindset, built it from the heart. So my fam, pack your bags, we depart. I ain't working just to pay the rent. I want assets, I want every cent. Money move the end, make me rich. Well, forever, we don't never quit. I'm a Wall Street chopper, I print cash. Flip my mindset, doubt, done dash. Freedom in a dream is the way I act. If it don't make money, then I cut that fast. From the trenches, now I'm on it lit. Blueprint solid, yeah, we built a stand. Had to study, had to learn a plan. Now my bank grow fast like the men. No excuses, I just made a play. Every move I make go elevate. We ain't stressing over little pay. Money work for me, I'm here to stay. I'm the first millionaire in my bloodline. Broke that curse, now the fam gon' shine. Ownership, yeah, the world is mine. Told my people this a different time. I'm a Wall Street trapper, I bring cash. Fill my mindset, doubt, done, dash. Freedom in the dream, it's the way I act. If it don't make money, then I cut that fast. From the struggle to the stocks, that's facts now. We the architects, yeah, it's mapped out. Wall Street look like us, we maxed out. Hey, duck that dog. Time ain't for sale, I'm moving the balls. Stacking my wealth, I'm cutting the loss. I need to work, ain't punching no clock. Hustle for freedom, we run up the stock. I ain't talking, then I buy time back. Every move I make, that's a smart stack. No dead chains, yeah, I cut that. As it's working while I lean back. See the system when you drop the new pop. Chasing checks, but they taxing the loop. Buying time, that's real type of coup. Ownership, I only I recruit. Gotta stay focused, no fear in my soul. Passive income, that's money that roll. Market been jumping, my plays ain't gold. Options been praying that well so bold. They flexing for likes, but they pockets be deep. I flex in silence, investments gon' speak. Hustle for freedom, no time for sleep. Stay on my pivot, the wisdom and streaks. Yeah, freedom ain't free, but the price was the grind. Building this book, I ain't wasting my time. Ooh. They chasing the trends, I'm chasing the climb. Yeah, stacking these assets, my future design. Generational wealth, yeah, we building that. Blueprint solid, we ain't spinning back. Real estate stocks and some hidden racks. When I touch a million, I'ma flip it fast. It ain't about what you make, it's about what you keep. Spending too much, that's why they stay weak. Ownership talk, yeah, that's what I preach. Money working even when I'm asleep. No 9 to 5, I design my way. Freedom hit different when you own a play. Boss in my life, yeah, I'm here to stay. Legacy strong, put respect on my name. Yeah, freedom ain't free, but the price was a grind. Building this wealth, I ain't wasting my time. They chasing the trends, I'm chasing the climb. Yeah.
That's it, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.